We now come to a central moment of today's conference, the signing of the Poitiers-Granada Declaration. As it was mentioned in the opening remarks, holding this ceremony here today carries special significance, not only within the framework of this conference, but also in the context of the University of Granada's 500th anniversary and our shared ambition to contribute to Granada's candidacy as European Capital of Culture 2031. As it was mentioned in the opening remarks, we would also like to express our sincere gratitude to the Coimbra Group Executive Board, and especially to Professor Ludovic Tilly, for his openness, commitment, and generosity in promoting the update of this declaration following the most recent conference held in the wonderful city of Bologna, the origin of the university as we know it today. We are delighted to welcome to the stage Arno Schruyen, Vice President of the European Students' Union, Professor Ludovic Tilly, Professor Ludovic Tilly, Chair of the Executive Board, Francisco Rodriguez, President of the Provincial Council of Granada, Marifran Carazo, Mayor of Granada, and of course, Professor Pedro Mercado, Rector of the University of Granada. To present the process and outline the key developments introduced, I invite Professor Ludovic Tilly, Chair of the Coimbra Group Executive Board. Please.
Well, I will not be too long because I guess for those who have been in the room since this morning, you have now a sense of what it is all about. The Poitiers-Granada Declaration has originated from the Poitiers Declaration, which was signed or started in Poitiers 10 years ago. And it was already at that time a framework where municipalities and universities were committing to work together with very specific action lines around the different missions that universities bring on one side and what municipalities are fostering within their communities on the other side. And after 10 years, and I should say that during these 10 years, this initiative, which is somehow kind of unprecedented in Europe, or at least in the way it is formalized, has drawn very, very much attention from different stakeholders. The European Commission on several occasions looked at the Poitiers Declaration as a model of the type of relationship between universities and the policymakers and the local stakeholders. Also, the regions looked very much into this initiative. For instance, ERIN, the group of regions in Brussels, was constantly, regularly in contact with us to also see this model of good practice. But after 10 years, we realized, also after discussing last year in Bologna for the 40th anniversary, that it was the right moment, also ahead of this annual meeting here in Granada, to look back, look at that document, look at that commitment, and see if what was already there 10 years ago was still relevant, and well, it is still relevant, but we noticed that there were clearly a new initiative that could be incorporated. One of them, it's not the only new thing in this refreshed declaration, but one of them was in particular what we have discussed the whole day through, that is this unique role, this unique place that universities like Coimbra Group universities in mid-sized cities, where there is this deep impact on the local ecosystem through research, through innovation, and the transfer of knowledge. This was missing in the initial version. So that's not it. There was also some ideas around inclusion, to also put more the student engagement at the center of these activities, etc. All of this now has been incorporated, so I would say we have now a really comprehensive declaration, a really comprehensive framework, and I'm so delighted that we also somehow keep this historic development, which is now through this new name, which is the Poitiers-Granada Declaration. And as I say this, I also hope that this will be a nice way also for the bid of the municipality for the capital of culture in 2031. So hopefully this little stone will also help you in this challenge. So it's a real pleasure for us all at the Coimbra Group, because through this initiative, and I hope you just don't see it as a piece of paper. Yes, there will be a piece of paper that we sign, but behind that piece of paper, we have basically 42 communities all through Europe, millions of students, hundred thousands of staff, of teachers, of researchers, and millions, several tens of millions of citizens, which are now connected in the sense of belonging to a Europe that is fostering a just society, a sustainable society, an inclusive society. And with this, we are really, I think, fulfilling what is academia about. So this is not just a piece of paper, it's a real commitment to the next 10 years at least, and we will see where we are in 10 years, and there probably we will have the Poitiers Granada X declaration. So long live to this declaration, and warm thanks also to all the representatives from the important stakeholders, because universities are not alone, that's true, but if they are not really working hand in hand with the policymakers, they remain isolated. So thank you very much. Sorry, I forgot one important thing, which is that I'm very happy to tell you that already today, within a week, the declaration has been already signed by 13 Coimbra Group universities and municipalities. And this is just the start. Very soon, all of them will have signed. So, and actually in a few minutes, it will be 14. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Tilly. For the Coimbra Group, it is very important to always take the students' perspective into account. The declaration includes new approaches that seek to address some of the challenges facing young people today. Next, Arno Schroyen takes the floor to speak on behalf of the European Students' Union, with which the Coimbra Group collaborates closely.
Dear Professor Ludovic Tilly, dear President Francisco Rodriguez, dear Mayor Marifran Carazo, dear Professor Pedro Mercado, dear representative of higher education institutions and cities, dear students. On behalf of the European Students' Union, I am pleased to welcome the signing of this renewed Poitiers Granada Declaration. 10 years after the original Poitiers Declaration, it's encouraging to see universities and cities not only reaffirming their partnerships, but recommitting themselves to a shared vision of democratic, inclusive, and sustainable communities. For students, this declaration carries a particularly important message. Students are not only visitors passing through a city for a few years. We are members of our communities, whether we grew up in the city where we study or arrived from another region or country. We should be able to participate fully in civic, cultural, and democratic life. The European Student Union has long advocated for higher education institutions to embrace their third mission, contributing to society beyond teaching and research. Universities should not be isolated institutions. They should be active partners in building stronger, more cohesive communities and equipping learners with the knowledge, competences, and values needed to shape our societies for the better. This is especially important today. Across Europe, we are witnessing a rise of far-right attacks on democratic values and increasing pressure on civic participation, including student activism. In this context, dialogue between higher education institutions, students, cities, and local communities is not a luxury, it's a necessity. What we particularly welcome in this declaration is the understanding that inclusion must be tangible. Inclusion means ensuring affordable housing, it means accessible and reliable public transport, it means creating welcoming environments for international students, it means tackling discrimination, violence, and inclusion in all of their forms. And it means ensuring that students and young people have a genuine voice in the decisions that shape both their universities and their cities. Today's signature is therefore more than a symbolic gesture. It's a commitment to building cities and universities where everyone can belong, participate, and thrive, and students are looking forward to be in this process all along. Thank you very much.
We will now proceed with the formal signing of the declaration. I will invite each signatory to come to the table for the signing. Once all the signatories have signed the declaration, they will pose for a photograph and may return to their seats. I would like to invite, first, Professor Ludovic Tilly, Chair of the Executive Board. Yes, please. Of course. Thank you. Second, President Francisco Rodriguez, President of the Granada Provincial Council. Thank you. Third, Marifran Carazo, Mayor of Granada. Finally, Professor Pedro Mercado, Rector of the University of Granada. Ladies and gentlemen, this moment reflects a shared commitment to the future of our universities and their role in society. Please join me in giving a warm round of applause to all the signatories. We now invite our closing speakers. First, Mrs. Marifran Carazo, Mayor of Granada. Please.
Señor Rector de la Universidad de Granada, Pedro Mercado, Presidente y representantes del Grupo Coimbra, nice to meet you again and welcome to Granada. Presidente de la Diputación, Presidente también de los estudiantes, bienvenidos, autoridades, señores y señoras. Decirles que Granada les da la bienvenida y es un honor recibirles en nuestra ciudad, una ciudad que vive uno de los momentos más ilusionantes de su historia reciente. Granada, hoy se ha expresado, tiene un sueño compartido, convertirse en capital europea de la cultura en 2031. Coincidiendo también con el 5º centenario de la Universidad de Granada. Un sueño que es un proyecto colectivo que está uniendo a toda la ciudad y a toda la provincia en torno a un mismo reto, construir una Granada más abierta, innovadora, participativa y europea a través de la cultura. Por eso, la celebración de esta conferencia y asamblea anual del Grupo Coimbra tiene para nosotros un significado muy especial, porque Granada 2031 nace de una convicción profunda de que los grandes desafíos del futuro solo pueden afrontarse desde la colaboración, desde la alianza entre instituciones, universidades, empresas, creadores, asociaciones y ciudadanía. Exactamente el espíritu que representa el Grupo Coimbra desde hace más de 4 décadas. Su presencia en nuestra ciudad constituye una magnífica oportunidad para seguir fortaleciendo esa visión compartida de una Europa que avanza a través del conocimiento, la innovación, la cultura y la cooperación entre territorios. No es casualidad que uno de los principales apoyos internacionales que ha recibido nuestra candidatura haya llegado precisamente desde esta red de universidades históricas europeas. Un respaldo que agradecemos profundamente porque representa mucho más que una adhesión institucional. Supone el reconocimiento a una forma de entender el desarrollo de las ciudades, en el que la cultura, la educación superior y el conocimiento son motores de transformación social y territorial. Queremos que la cultura sea una herramienta para generar oportunidades, atraer talento, impulsar la innovación, fortalecer la cohesión social y proyectar nuestra imagen en el mundo. Queremos que deje un legado duradero para las próximas generaciones y queremos hacerlo desde una visión abierta, participativa y profundamente europea. Por eso, la Universidad de Granada ocupa un lugar esencial en nuestra candidatura. La universidad forma parte de la identidad misma de Granada. Durante casi 5 siglos ha contribuido a construir una ciudad más culta, más dinámica y más conectada con el mundo. Hoy continúa siendo uno de los principales motores de desarrollo y una referencia internacional en investigación, innovación y transferencia de conocimiento. Su participación en Granada 2031 está siendo decisiva, desde el impulso a procesos de participación ciudadana a través de Media Lab, hasta su contribución también intelectual y académica en la definición del proyecto cultural de la candidatura. La universidad aporta algo imprescindible: capacidad para pensar el futuro desde el conocimiento y para implicar a la sociedad en su construcción. Precisamente eso es uno de los grandes temas que articulan esta conferencia del Grupo Coimbra: cómo las universidades pueden contribuir al desarrollo de sus territorios y convertirse en agentes activos de transformación social. La declaración de Poitiers Granada representa un paso más en esta dirección, un compromiso renovado de las universidades europeas con las ciudades que las acogen y con las comunidades a las que sirven. Una declaración que conecta plenamente con la Visión Granada 2031 y con una apuesta para construir alianzas sólidas entre la cultura, el conocimiento y la ciudadanía. Granada es la ciudad de Federico García Lorca, de Ángel Ganivet o Enrique Morente, una ciudad que sigue generando talento cultural y creativo, una ciudad que estos días acoge simultáneamente algunos de los acontecimientos culturales más importantes de nuestro país, como el Festival de Música y Danza o el Festival Internacional de Jazz, el Festival Internacional de Jóvenes Realizadores o el Festival de Teatro Infantil y Familiar. Somos una ciudad universitaria que mira a Europa y que quiere contribuir activamente a los grandes debates sobre el futuro de nuestras sociedades. Por eso nos sentimos especialmente identificados con el trabajo que desarrolla el Grupo Coimbra, porque compartimos la certeza de que el conocimiento transforma territorios, que la cultura genera progreso y que las alianzas entre instituciones son fundamentales para construir sociedades más prósperas y cohesionadas. Gracias por acompañarnos en este camino. Vuestro compromiso con Europa, con la educación y con la cultura. Y gracias por creer en una ciudad que aspira, de la mano de su universidad, a que 2031 marque un antes y un después en nuestra historia compartida. Bienvenidos a Granada y muchas gracias.
I would like to invite Professor Pedro Mercado, Rector of the University of Granada.
Authorities, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues and friends, it's a pleasure to meet you again. Don't worry, I promise no more than 3-minute speech. The signing of the Poitiers-Granada Declaration represents a clear step forward. It expands the original vision and underlines our shared commitment to cooperation between universities, cities and regions, with a strong focus on innovation and the transformation of our social and territorial environments. I would like to express my gratitude to Professor Ludovic Tilly, Chair of the Executive Board of the Coimbra Group, for his generosity and leadership. A year ago, in Bologna, he accepted the challenge to move this declaration forward, and today we have this renewed and more ambitious document. I also want to recognize the important role of the Professor Esteban Romero, Vice Rector of Social Innovation, who has been a key driving force in this process. His work, together with many initiatives he promotes, are priceless. My warmest thanks go to the Mayor of Granada, Marifran Carazo, and the President of Provincial Council, Francis Rodriguez, for signing this declaration today. Their presence and commitment reflect the strong and daily collaboration between our institutions, the City Council and the Provincial Council,